Hey kids, do you like LSD? Do you get a stiffy when you see this? Or perhaps you enjoyed Spore and Minecraft so much you immediately throw money at anything that resembles their combination? Well then maybe you should just keep playing one of them. Fine, No Man's Sky is not that horrible. There are far worse things you can spend your money on, like Apple stocks, second-hand underwear, the church, Star Citizen, all sorts of things. So after royally fucking up the launch, No Man's Sky with solid and more importantly free updates, over time had regained trust of the general public, so maybe it is worth taking a look. Because peer pressure. First though, we need to briefly take a look at the game's history. An indie company one day came up with this idea to build a grand, procedurally generated, LSD-injected, consolified space sim. Or at least that's what they said. The game was overhyped to high hell, mostly by Sean Murray, the head of the development team, and once it was cleared on the launch that it was nothing like the digital crack cocaine they seemed to have promised, naturally people were a little disappointed. To put it in political terms, the decisions made by the government, aka devs, were enough to cause minor dispute. A small minor dispute. Well then, now that the wonderful positivity of the fan base has been established, let's get into the game. Right, anything thus far has been negative, but that's history speaking. So, in general, there are 4 things that after spending some hours on hours, running, shooting, mining, flying, failing, and masturbating will annoy you. The first thing that you'll quickly notice will be the absurd amount of mining and grinding that you need to do. Surprisingly, not even Minecraft asks you to abuse the fellow unmovable and easily molestable metamorphic shit as much as this game does. You look fine today, baby. The grind is real, but just like with the first time experience in a strip joint, you won't notice any deformities and abnormal Chernobyl-like growths and other things that will put you off. Only when you're a repeat customer, this will become more apparent. I mean, there's so much mining happening in No Man's Sky that it would make United Kingdom in 1980s blush. Still, the more apparent annoyance that you'll notice right off the gate will be the consistent and belligerent ass fucking and dick slapping coming from the fucking space cops. Even on the starting planet, as soon as you try to do anything, sentinels appear yelling, "Oh, what's this then? You're trying to strip the planet of resources, literally killing the nature? Well, let me make your day miserable by shooting you, and if you shoot me, I'll call my friends to beat you up." Seriously, I do get that they are there to provide challenge, but what they ended up being are really just annoyances that make me wish I could kick the person that came up with these in the nuts repeatedly till someone draws blood. Also, am I really to believe that the space cops have infested the whole galaxy and gone where No Man's Sky has gone before? Making it some Sentinel Sky? Still, that's not even the worst thing in my mind. If Sentinels and grind together are a real-life equivalent of tattooing your penis without the ink, then the level of hand-holding that goes on in No Man's Sky is comparable to sticking your dick in an airliner jet turbine. Which becomes even funnier when you remember that because of the hand-holding, you have to struggle to hurt yourself with an aircraft within this game. Oh, and in the earlier versions of No Man's Sky, you actually had a lot harder time grazing the surface of planets. See, if I want to smash my face against the planet, just let me. I'm not a 5-year-old, and if I want to fuck up my life, why couldn't you let me do that? Isn't that the beauty of being an adult? Although if you're into such a game, then perhaps that statement can come under scrutiny. Or that it was simply easier to code than let players actually park their own ships. Or save the game in a proper time without the need for the stupid save point during the idiotic whoosh whoosh, look at me, I'm an artistic game, pretentious hipster fartery. As for the final thing that is my personal nitpick rather than anything else is the music. When I think of a space game or a crafting game, the first thing that does not come to my mind is some indie rock. See, to me, exploration and discovery is epic, somber, and touch lonely, with a glimpse of wonder and calm. What we got here from day one is a tonal shift so drastic. I think the instruments used for this game's music could compete in drag racing with the speed shift they use. As for the good, well, there are several interesting aspects about No Man's Sky, one of which is the quest for language and understanding. See, when you discover new species, unlike with what you see in Star Trek, Stargate, or American TV, the world and in fact the universe operates in multiple languages, and to learn it all, it takes time, effort, and practice. Of course, one of the quests is associated with linguistical discovery, and this approach I have not seen in gaming, at least yet. But when you're tripping on LSD, everything makes sense and can be fun. Okay, so space games without many exceptions have always been difficult. No, not in the challenge way, but in the way of talking to a flat earther or Christian. Difficult. All the other space sims have so many controls, modes, knobs and sticks that you can have easier time getting a degree in software engineering than learning how to pilot something. No Man's Sky, on the other hand, goes for the peasantry approach of the video game making, consolifying everything so much. There'll be less healthy parts of the body than the cancerous ones. But in all honesty, the simplicity that is brought in both the gameplay and even more so in control scheme, allows anyone to pick it up and start playing it without asking bazillion questions. Even visually, it's very simple and easy to understand. Well, unless you look at the creature design. I mean, what the fuck are they even supposed to be? Still, as for the best thing about the game, it actually redeemed itself. After the devastating disaster of a sliced hemorrhoid rapage that was the launch, developers kept their heads down and kept making the game, releasing unscheduled yet quality updates every so often, improving the game at no cost to the people who had bought the game. Though it's questionable if the launch wouldn't have been such a shitfest, updates we'd get by now probably would have been tacked on DLC for not so moderate price. Yet that's another what if idea, so pay no attention. Because of the quality of work and dedication, though it's not everyone's cup of tea, you could still play it and quickly get into it, as this would be what the purest Space Sim elitists would call Space Sim Lite or Space Sim Baby Edition. Though yeah, you're right, I personally don't mind. So there you go. Well, I didn't go for the every little detail. When you beat a dead horse, well, you got to focus on the biggest pus-filled pustules for the maximum burst and splash of the juices. So let me know what you think of the game if you played it or not down below. Share the video around if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you didn't, or like and subscribe if you did. Oh, and price-wise, yeah, I'd recommend waiting for a sale, cause $60 still kinda seems a bit too much for this, considering especially alternatives. Quality gameplay. Oh yeah. People watch me play the game by just ramming a dead animal in the ass. Makes you think, doesn't it?